Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Footballbets4u podcast, episode number 24 of season 3.
Start again, Collie, start again.
Lads, what's the crack? I'm joined by Water.
How's it going?
Lauder.
How's it going?
Connor.
How's it going?
And Paddy.
How's it going?
Lads, it's fucking International Week, and we all know what that means. Absolutely nothing to talk about. We're going to be looking at the Ireland and Serbia game, so we're just going to talk a bit about that. We have a few questions that are after coming in just on the Instagram. Just put up a questionnaire. That's what you want to call it. So yeah.
No, they're only new. Ready?
So that was just one question.
Questionnaires.
So we're going to be looking at that. Then we're going to look at Connor's Crypto Corner. We have a Melon's Moan, but it's going to be a really quick one. We're going to be talking about one of the main topics, which is Paul Scholes and Steven Gerrard, lads. Who's the better midfielder? We'll start off with the Ireland and Serbia game. So, lads, Lola, I'm going to jump to you. You watched the game. What did you make of it? What did you make of the starting team? And what's your kind of take on going forward? What do you think, like, looking at the group? How do you think it's going to fare out now after seeing that performance?
I think it's going to be very difficult for us. And I don't think anyone would shy away from that, even though, last night, I don't know where the goals are going to come from. Particularly, I know we got 2 goals last night, but one of them was absolutely handed to us.
It says 3-1 there.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Yeah, that's true.
It was
3-1.
It was 3-2.
There you go, Paddy.
That's me cutting corners and something that was there last week. That was
Making them look worse than they are.
Trying to get a home, like.
In all fairness, you were absolutely difficult. For some shot. Well, to be fair, Shane Long did well to hunt it down, but I don't know. Now with Ireland, we're trying to play football, and I just don't think we have the players to do it. We don't have the quality. Like you look at Wales, and you think there's someone who are going to get similar results, but they've got some world class players in there. They got Bale, they got Ramsey. We just don't have anyone like that. So I think it's going to be very, very difficult for us to get anything out of the group.
Yeah, and we're chatting just before we came on. We were saying about like the likes of Robbie Keane there, like how we didn't really appreciate him, I think, at the time, like and how much of a loss he is. Like he was really the go-to for a goal, like and now we're kind of, I think over the last couple of years, Shane Duffy, I think, is our top scorer, like, which is absolutely embarrassing when you think about it. Like if you like looking at that Serbia team,
your man from Boyzone.
I wouldn't be surprised. More likely, looking at kind of that Serbia team that we played last night, like they had a couple of good players, but like that's definitely a team that we should be. Like, I think we should have gotten something out of that. Like I know we were away and stuff like that, but it doesn't make a difference. I don't think at this stage with the likes of no fans and stuff like that. There, like I definitely think that was something we should have drawn. Like 3-2 for an Ireland match, when you look at kind of the last results and stuff like that, it's a bit kind of unusual because all of our kind of matches have been like 1-0 or kind of very low scoring, and we haven't scored at all. We scored 1 in like 7 games or whatever it was, and like that was obviously a change in system. We had a question in which we'll get to later about that system change, and like it is something that. It's definitely something that I think needed to be done, because when you looked at what Kenny was doing and how he was playing with that team, it was very fucking boring. And I know I've been calling from the whole time since he started. I've been calling from. Kind of, what do you make? Kind of, I know you were in on it yesterday as well. What do you? Go on, Lala. Sorry, go on. You wanted to say something there.
I really think you're the type of fan that's the issue here. Is you just called Kenny's play boring previously. I probably would have called Irish football boring over the last 20 years that you've been watching it. But is what happened yesterday not a result of what happens when Ireland try to play football? We chased the ball for 60 minutes until we had no legs left. We passed the ball around well, but really we just don't have the quality of players to play like that. So
Yeah, for that length of time, especially, yeah.
I would have rather we set up to not lose the game and try and nick a win and get a result out of the game than lose.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
I don't think you can win though there.
Yeah.
Pardon?
It is an unusual one, but like I think like I know what you're saying there, a lot of like that, like it has been born. Irish football is like, let's be honest, like over the last 10 years, whatever, it's always been kind of Route 1, and the managers that we've had, I think, maybe realise that. Like if you have a look, like the likes of Trapattoni and stuff like that, like we went on one of our kind of longest unbeaten runs under Trapattoni, like, and he was defensively solid, and we were sound like with him, but like obviously we lacked going forward, which didn't really help. But then like the likes of Mick McCarthy there, Mick McCarthy knew how bad we were in terms of like quality with the players, and he plays to a strength. And that's a good thing about Mick McCarthy. He's a realist, and he knows what he's got there available, and he kind of adapted to it. And that's what I just think. Stephen Kenny, he has a vision. Fair play to him. He has a style of play. He done it with Dundalk, but it's like you were saying. I just don't think we have the quality of player to do that. So that's why I think, like, do we need to look at something else? Like, or, like, what do we do? Like,
do you think it was a cost thing where they got rid of O'Neill?
I don't know about costing getting rid of O'Neill, but definitely getting Kenny in is a cost thing. Like, Connor, you can kind of jump in on this one because you were able to kind of give the real kind of financial reason behind it last time, where like we were saying that you can explain. I'm not sure about like how they were even able to afford the wages for O'Neill and King there. Like,
yeah, they had financial backing from Dennis O'Brien and a couple of lads who saw it as a way of putting money away tax free. It actually cost the FAI more money to get rid of O'Neill and Keane than it saved them, because they had to pay the rest of their contract plus a 6-month bonus as well for them for like job seeking. So it wasn't cost saving for them. It was just obviously 2 poor campaigns back to back seems to be what puts nails in coffins for Irish managers. If you have 2 campaigns back to back that don't go well, you don't get another go at it.
It's long enough though, isn't it? Like, because when like 2 campaigns is the guts of 4 years. Like when you think about it, like, you know what I mean, it's still a fairly long kind of tenure in the job. Like, although international, it's probably short.
It's a potential of only 16 games.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, with a lot of friendlies in between, which like, look, I like we're saying
it's
there.
A shit game though.
We do have a shit team. We do
like, compared to what we used to have, the quality there, right? People can say, right, fair enough, there's 1 or 2 Premier League players in the team, but again, they're like possibility of being relegated. They're just like the Ireland's, when I remember, say like 10 years ago when Robbie Keane was in a Damien Duff, we always had players in the top 4 of the English league. Yeah. But for the last 10 years, we just haven't. And to blame a manager, I just think is not fair, really, because I don't think any manager will do a good job.
No, I know, I get that. I get 100% get that. That like we're asking someone to do miracles with a team that's well below par and well below what we expect as a nation from them. The only thing that we want to see is a bit of heart. I think we had one match there where there was like literally 0 tackles put in, 0 yellow cards, 0 free kicks or something like that. And like that type of thing from an Irish team is unheard of. Like that's where I got frustrated on it anyway.
Yeah. I think it's a lose-lose though, because we, like myself included, we all gave out whenever the manager was, and then we set up to play behind the ball, and we played for set pieces. Everyone gave out about that. We were like, why can't we play a bit of ball? Why can't we do this? Why can't we try that? Because people are going to the matches for 90 minutes looking at absolute shite, just getting peppered. And then in the last 2 minutes, we'd score a header and go absolutely bananas. And we thought it was great.
Do we reckon like the players and the team and the manager would be getting a bit more slack if it wasn't Stephen Kenny? Like, are we a bit more harsh on Kenny just because of who he is and what his background is with League of Ireland? Or
I think a run of bad results from the O'Neill era now to Kenny era, and he's getting the brunt of everything. Because
but Mick McCarthy was in between for a full campaign.
Yeah.
All right.
Mick kind of left us in the fucking, not in the ship, but I think he knew what was going on there. Like he was.
But no, he got kicked out.
Yeah,
he had to be moved on because Kenny had to start. Yeah, so McCarthy's games got delayed because of COVID, and McCarthy's games got delayed because of COVID, and Kenny had a start date for September after the Euros were supposed to be finished.
Yeah,
so the Euros weren't going to be finished before then, so McCarthy stepped away early. for like to get Kenny come in, finish the campaign, and then have a fresh run at it this time around for the World Cup.
Yeah. If anyone is watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch or anything like that, get your comments in. We'll read them out. Give us your opinion on Stephen Kenny, if you would rather see him in or out. I did put a poll up on the Instagram page that's just about like Stephen Kenny, is he the right man for the job? Like when you look at the numbers, it's kind of not far off split 50-50. It's 47 yes and 53 no. So I mean, to me, that wouldn't justify a sacking. Like just getting people's general opinion on it, you couldn't sack someone if it's that divided. You'd like to see a more decisive number in terms of like he's not the right man for the job, but it's not. We're not getting it. So in terms of what people want, they obviously still want to give him more time. And
realistically, who would you like to see coming in? Like, I mean, realistically now, because you're obviously not.
See, it's very hard because I know, as Connor was saying, them lads that were investing in the FOI are no longer doing it because it's just like they were found out or whatever, and they just can't do it anymore. So you have to be realistic about who we could potentially get. And like Stephen Kenny is probably the best of a bad bunch that are available to us. Like,
Lampard.
oh, shut the fuck up!
I wouldn't get him. He's shitty.
How dare you, Water? How dare you?
Well, in fairness to Kenny, I think he's trying to play football.
Yeah,
he's trying to change it up and do something that we probably haven't really ever tried to do. Like, but again, probably the worst crop of players that we have to try and do that with. Like, I don't blame him at all. Like, to be honest, you can't sit there and say last night was boring. It was shite because we lost. It was 3-2.
Yeah. Well, the first 60 minutes of what we were saying, like, was kind of.
We did create some chances. But the front three really worked like dogs, and you know, there was a couple of good passages of play as well. Like, but realistically, we didn't have that quality. Like when you look at Serbia, they had Dusan Tadic, and to be able to bring on Mitrovic, like we don't have anyone to do with either of those two players, you know. And the other fella kind of front was top class.
Yeah, just a quick one, Connor, coming to you on this, just being the goalkeeper and Travers. What do you make of that? Like, is that just a young goalkeeper who's just too keen to impress there and just didn't work out?
No, well, he's fourth choice goalkeeper. He wasn't even supposed to make the squad. Never mind start the game. So for him, it's just a nerve thing of not in the last minute. He was told obviously the day before that he was going to get his first competitive cap for Ireland. It's only his third cap ever. The other two coming off the bench, so it's a nerves thing. He's not a regular. He hasn't played regular football. I know we had a Mellon last night anyway as well. He was out on loan at Swindon up until November. His loan was recalled back to Bournemouth because I don't know who their second choice goalkeeper is, but he's out injured for 12 months, so they needed him to come back and sit on the bench. And he sat on the bench for the last 2.5 months, nearly 3 months now. So I would have probably preferred to see Gavin Banazai play, because although he's playing with Rochdale, he's playing every week. And again, just having that match day sharpness, I think, would have helped. Would he have saved the 2 goals? Could he have made the same mistakes? Could have. But I thought I feel bad blaming Travers himself. I would say it's more of a poor selection. I would have played the goalkeeper who's playing every week, not just because he's the championship goalkeeper. Yeah,
that's true. It just like I was watching some of the things he done. I think it was Tadic was running through on goal and he came running out, and it was just like a deer in headlights, where like he's basically just like clueless about what he's doing. He's run out and Tadic has knocked him miles away. The defender's there covering anyway, and he's just made the awful decision of fucking running out and committing.
Oh, he's nervous.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He's not even thinking straight. Like
21-year-old making his first competitive cap for Ireland, like it's
the World Cup qualifier.
The first game, the first one. So I said I don't like the way stuff's being laid at his doorstep. I wouldn't have liked to see him play. I would have liked to have seen a regular goalkeeper play who made a couple of saves last weekend, as opposed to a fella who hasn't stopped the ball competitively for nearly 3 months.
Yeah, and if you're looking at team selection there, lads, because the one thing I did want to see from Kenny, and like I know kind of we get back to it, the League of Ireland and like the quality of players is obviously not up there with the likes of the Premier League, and even like the majority of our players are playing over in England, which is good for us because it means that they are at a bit of a better level. But like Stephen Kenny coming in there was supposed to be this great fucking League of Ireland guru who knew a lot of players, who had a lot of knowledge about League of Ireland. Not many players have come up. Now, look, we obviously know that that's down to the quality of the players there. And if you're not good enough, you're not going to fucking play. But like seeing the likes of Brady, McLean, sitting on the bench, is that something that you're happy with, to see them lads kind of stepping aside now at the moment? Look, we know the players are getting older. Brady's probably 30 now, and McLean's probably not far off it.
But do these players look good in their league? If they were put into one of the English leagues, they would probably be just lost.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's kind of one of them things. And even the likes of Jeff Hendrick, like I would have rather see him playing. I know he's only playing for Newcastle. What?
He was dirt last night when he came on.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to come in on an Ireland game. I just think like there's not much pace to it like at times, so it is a kind of slow game to get into.
For Newcastle,
the three were played in midfield quite well, and what went wrong in midfield was when they made the substitution.
It took Jason Malumbi off.
He took Jason Malumbi off, and he brought Hendrick on, and we seemed to have problems in the middle then. Like, and I know he was probably trying to anticipate that lads were losing their legs, like, and that's why he probably made the change early, but that's when things seem to go wrong for us in the middle of the park.
So are you kind of happy seeing them lads playing there, or would you rather see like look, we played the three. I'll pull the question up now because it kind of leads into it. So we played the 3-5-2. So Jay Daly came in with, shall we see Kenny stay with the 3-5-2? It suited our players, but until they ran out of steam after 60 minutes, which I think is a fairly honest assessment
but is that unacceptable of modern day players that they're running out of steam after 60 minutes?
Yeah,
they're professionals.
Conley hasn't played football.
Yeah, he went down after 60 minutes. I think he
hasn't played much, and he got cramp after 60 minutes.
Yeah,
and that's what we made the substitution. We just didn't have anyone to come up off the bench. Like having
he's not the only. There's 11 players on the pitch, and from what I'm hearing, after 60 minutes they just died to death. The whole team.
Got to remember as well that the 5 players pulled out of the squad and 5 players were unavailable for selection via injury. So ideally, you'd have Conor Hourihan, who's won Championship Player of the Month twice already this season for Swansea, that in that midfield somewhere. You'd probably have Callum O'Dowda in there alongside him, probably, or out wide, and you'd have the option of playing a front two, who are a front two, as opposed to Callum Robinson, who's played on the wing with West Brom, and Aaron Connolly, who hasn't played at all this season.
But do you accept that these players that get paid as a professional footballer can run out of gas after 60 minutes, irrespective of what way you have them playing? Like, they should be elite athletes.
The only thing that I can justify,
don't get tired, but
the only thing I can justify that with is that they are being quite overloaded in terms at the club. So like this, we call this an international break. Like, who really gets the break? Like, it's only a break from club football. It's not a break for the players. Like, so I do still think that you then get pushed into an international setup, which you're trying to impress. So like the likes of the younger players who are there trying to hold the place in the team, they're trying to work harder and they are trying to catch the eye of the manager. Like, and then they have another 90 minutes of football after probably just playing maybe four days before that. So it is. I kind of do accept it. I just think because of them players playing so much, I think we need to use our squad. Not better, maybe better.
We tried to play a pressing style of football like that. That front three were constantly chasing, but we didn't have any pace to change that. James McLean isn't that quick, you know. And
so it's not coming down to the manager then.
No, it comes down to the players.
No, but that's the manager's fault. If he's playing them against their strengths, if he knows they're not going to.
No, James McLean was on the bench. He's saying he didn't have any legs.
I'm talking about the whole squad, though. No, I know that.
Yeah, because
should the manager play then, knowing
he should have been? You're saying,
or a different way.
You'll probably anticipate
like the high press, like the high press the whole game for the top 3. You know what I mean? You obviously can't do that for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So maybe like soak up the pressure for the first half and then the second half go for it. So, you know,
a thing with the 3-5-2 as well, like that type of system, like your wing backs really, really have to work. Like, and if they don't work, your whole system kind of goes out the window. They're probably the 2 of the most important players on that pitch.
Well, I thought they did well last night.
It was in Doherty. I wasn't really like his attacking play wasn't great. I didn't think it was great. His deliveries were poor.
But they set back into that 5 very well. Like the transition.
That's what you get with him. That's what you get with a natural right back there. Yeah, that is what you get with a natural right back of Doherty. And it was nice to see Coleman and Doherty both on the right there. It was a solid enough right side, like. But I just didn't. I would have probably rather see Seamus Coleman going further up. Like maybe he doesn't have the legs for it. Like, be interesting to see. Not with looking at current form. No way. He's been absolutely shocking at Celtic. Like,
I have to say, I don't know if any has read the papers or whatever with Coleman coming out defending him in the week. Coleman's classy captain, man. And for me, he has to be. He has to be starting, man. He just
Coleman is in fairness, he is probably one of our best captains we've had in a while. Like, he's a true leader, and I like the way he speaks. Like even with Everton, like he speaks and he comes across as a classy guy. Like I do like Coleman. Thoughts on what we're gonna achieve? So I think we kind of covered it a little bit last week. Thoughts on what we're going to achieve out of this group? It was just me and Melanon, so it'll be interesting to get your lads' takes. Warren, we'll go to you in terms of what we're going to get from this qualifiers, and like, are we going to look? Qualifying is going to be a challenge in itself. How do you think we're going to fare out in this group that we're in? And do you think we're going to stand a chance to qualify?
No, I don't think we have a chance to qualify. In all honesty. I think you'd want to see a little bit more progress. So you'd want to see a bit more goals. And if you see a progression towards the style that he's trying to play, like they're playing the high press, if they can last that for longer. So look, how many teams are in that European qualifying group? It's probably 8 in a group, 6 in a group.
No, we've only 5.
Five, yeah.
Yeah.
Portugal, so it's Serbia, Portugal, Luxembourg, Azerbaijan, and Ireland.
And just for the record, Qatar are actually in our group, but they're playing friendlies. So they're already, because they're the hosting nation, they're actually just playing friendlies against their teams. So like completely fucking pointless their games. But anyway, so if back to Warren.
If we win 3 games in that group, I'll be happy.
And where do you reckon we're going to win them? Probably 2 against Azerbaijan.
2 against Qatar.
2 against Qatar. Yeah,
1 against Qatar, maybe 1 against Azerbaijan.
So my final question: do you see us qualifying from that group?
No, absolutely not.
Paddy, what do you reckon?
No, realistically, I can't. Not with the run of results we've been getting and the squad, and then listen to us. Even though I didn't see the match last night, but listen to what you're saying about it. I could see Stephen Kenny being sacked probably before the end of the qualification period if they don't pick up 1 or 2 more results. Like in the next couple of games, if they lose the next 2-3 games, they can't really stick with the manager then. Still, so no. I don't think they will.
Connor, what do you think?
Probably can't afford anyone else.
No. There's no way they've gone through major campaigns where they started off with 5 games on the bounce getting beaten and they haven't sacked a manager. They don't get rid of a manager during the campaign because nothing will change during it. Once you lose your first 4, you're out. So they'll stick with Kenny. They're not going to qualify out of it. I can still see them picking up wins. I can still see them beating Serbia at home. The way Serbia looked last night, obviously they obviously gifted goals away to Ireland, and I can see them struggling against Azerbaijan, especially away from home. And I can see the game in Dublin being tighter than even last night. Obviously, last night finished 3-2, but it wasn't a 3-2 kind of game. But like Mitrovic's goal coming from our goal kick, their first goal coming from our throw-in. I think if those things can get taken out and they can keep that style up, I can see it a bit tighter. But yeah, I can still see the top 2 being Portugal, Serbia, and then Ireland in 3rd.
Looking at, sorry, just a quick one just from you, Connor. Azerbaijan last night against Portugal held Portugal to a 1-0 defeat, obviously, but I'm worried about that. Like, I'm worried about Azerbaijan. Now, in fairness, the keeper, I was looking at the match, the keeper.
He was outrageous.
A couple of worldies, like, so, Portugal, like when you think of all the players they have, Ronaldo's there, Fernandes, Joe Felix, like they've got some serious quality there. Like we're gonna be getting fucking spanked as far as I'm concerned against the likes of them. But Azerbaijan, like, are we going to even be good enough to beat Azerbaijan? Like looking at that,
yeah, I can see us beating them. Away from home is a different story. I don't think many people go to Azerbaijan, even in like the Europa League, playing like Astana or something, and pick up wins easily. Yeah. I can see that away trip being a struggle, but I'd still fancy beating them at home. Because at the end of the day, it's hard for the Irish team to travel all the way to Azerbaijan, but it's hard for Azerbaijan to travel all the way to Ireland as well, on the flip side of it. So I'd fancy them. Again, the weekend has to start with 3 points against Luxembourg. They have to pick up 6 points against Luxembourg. I can see them picking up at least 3 against Azerbaijan. And then, as I said, picking up a minimum of 1 against Serbia, if not 3, in the return leg or the return fixture.
So you're not seeing the qualification coming out of this anyway?
I can see it being one of those Ireland qualifications where it still comes down to the last 2 games and then we fuck it away, but it's still being close.
I'm just going to presume, like in terms of the last qualifications, we have that extra spot, the playoff kind of spot. I presume that's still in this. I'm not sure what way they've.
No, I don't think so. Not for the World Cup. For the Euros.
We have 5 teams.
It's a smaller group. They don't do.
It's smaller, yeah. The other ones have 6.
That really doesn't fucking help us. Like, Lala, what do you reckon? Give us your thoughts on this, like on the group and where you think we're going. Like,
I agree with Connor. I think it'll be tighter than maybe you think. I can't see us picking up wins in the exact same games that he said. I'd like to see it come down to maybe the last game, depending on that second result in Serbia. Really, isn't it? It would have been great to at least get a point last night. So that's quite disappointing. In terms of, I agree with Connor as well. I don't think Kenny will get the sack. I think you'll always see the campaign out. But at the same time, I don't really see who you could replace with. Who I'd love to see in the Ireland manager shop, that was Chris Hughton.
Yeah.
But that'd be my ideal manager.
Yeah.
Whenever we get a bit of money.
Yeah. Lads, just quick one. So one of the other questions that came in, again referring to Ireland, is this one here from Abran. And he says, is Saturday already a must win for Ireland? It's got to be yes, doesn't it?
For the campaign, you've got to be picking up 6 points against Luxembourg. Whatever about Azerbaijan away, as I said, could be a tricky place to go. But Luxembourg is your 6 points. They are Gibraltar. That's your San Marino. That's your whatever the fuck else you want to call it. But you've got to pick up 6 points against them. One thing I was going to say is I think we got off into a bad start with our last game in the qualifier. We had Bulgaria and we beat Bulgaria. Would have been second seeded in the group. And we didn't beat Bulgaria. We said it won't be too much of an issue. And all of a sudden we have Serbia in the group instead of who the fuck else? Estonia, I think, our third seeds alongside of us, you know? Yeah. So we struggled through against being beaten by Bulgaria, and this is where we've ended up. So it's our own doing getting the group that we're in.
Yeah.
Say
again, Lola?
The seedings have fucked us.
Oh, big time, yeah. So lads, I think we're all in agreement that Saturday is a must win. Don't think there's any denying that. So just in terms of we've had another one in, and just we'll stick on the international for now. This is a question that we had in from T Loud 16. Who do you think will be the surprise package in the World Cup qualifying stages? It is a difficult one to say, I think, with it being so early.
Some haven't even played yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, but like if you look at some of the players and stuff like that, like you're looking at the likes of Norway now with Haaland there, and he's been playing really well with them and scoring a lot of goals with them. Like, is like for me, Norway maybe wants to watch where they would just rely solely on Haaland. Like, they remind me of kind of an Irish team now that have a goal scorer. Obviously, Haaland's a different fucking animal altogether. Like, but like with Chelsea, Ireland with Robbie Keane there, like it's a similar thing where like having that one player can pull out results. All you have to do is make sure defensively you're sound. Like, is there anyone else that you we thinking is maybe going to be surprised for his Lawler?
No, I'd like to see her down the games first.
Yeah, it is hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah,
I go for Portugal.
Portugal.
Surprise.
I mean, for the whole thing.
To win the World Cup?
You never know.
Ooh, interesting. That's a big shout from Paddy. What do you reckon? Anyone there that you reckon might surprise you in terms of kind of getting a couple of good results? I remember kind of it was a Euro to Iceland, kind of where the big shockers, like them kind of Scandinavian countries are always kind of there or thereabouts. Like
Korea.
Yeah, they're good in the tournament, aren't they?
So was there anyone there that you would say might be a surprise?
Oh, I thought you were talking to Graham there because he started talking. I'm gonna go with me mate Suchek and go Czech Republic because I know Connor loves my friendship with Thomas Suchek.
It is a thing of beauty. Connor, what do you reckon? Who's your shockers maybe?
There was one I have in an accumulator run tonight that I fancied from the previous Euros, and they've played some decent football and friendlies around, and it's Hungary. I look at it tonight. They're 2-0 up against Poland at the moment. Happy days. But again, it was actually mainly around. I can't even pronounce our man's name. He plays up front for them. But the fella who was at
I'll give it a back.
CSKA.
I want to hear it.
I was going to say it was almost like Dybala, but it's not obviously Dybala because he's Argentinian. But Ziabla.
Okay. I mean, I don't know it, so I can't correct you. Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, I thought you knew it.
I just wanted you to try it. Like, I have no idea like how to pronounce it. Like, I'm the worst person at pronouncing names.
And then I'm a big fan of like Peter Galassi and stuff in goal. He's obviously playing well at club football with Red Bull. So players like that, and just seeing previous results out of them, I'd fancy them to do a little bit. And obviously beating Poland now so far, happy days. They're in the accumulator.
Gerrard not in goal anymore with his fucking tracksuit.
Gerrard is not in goal with his tracksuit bottoms anymore now. He's a goalkeeper coach.
Is
I
he?
wonder if he auctioned them trousers off, would he get serious money? Surely they were the same pair of trousers.
I don't think they were the same tracksuit bottoms. He used to wear a grey pair at Palace because he had the club crest on the Palace ones because they started like doing his match day kit in them.
Definitely went down to JD Sports and fucking got a pair of them there when that was.
That's what he used to do for Hungary. It was just a pair of black Nike or black Umbro ones or whatever the fuck they were.
That's disappointing. I would have liked to believe there that they were the same pair the whole.
His lucky pair.
Yeah. Lads, another one just on a quick one on the international side of things as well. We had another question in from beccsamills. Do you think England will qualify for the World Cup? And then thoughts on Villa this season. So we can just jump into the Villa one as well, like just a quick one on it. Connor, what do you reckon? Obviously, look, I don't think it's a question whether England are going to qualify. I think it's a given. But how do you see? So what I'll do is look. Obviously, you can say you do think they're going to qualify. How far do you think they're going to go in the World Cup when you look at their squad?
Well, the first part of it, they have Andorra, Albania, San Marino, Hungary, and Poland, and three have the potential of going through. So I fancy England going through ahead of Andorra, Albania, and San Marino. So I think they're safe. It's a tricky one. The players that they have there are it's probably one of the strongest England teams we've seen, and since probably going back to 2006, I'd say. When they probably should have won the World Cup, but obviously fucked it away against Portugal. How will they gel together? How will they gel under Southgate? Southgate has obviously had issues with some of the players before up in Iceland, with Foden being a ball boy, and with who else was it? Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, Greenwood. Yeah.
I don't know what the dynamic looks like from a manager point of view with those kind of younger players. When they get together, do they just go on the tear?
Sounds like a good time.
It sounds like a great time, but not a team that are going to win the World Cup. I'd fancy them still probably a minimum of a quarterfinals. I'm probably depends on obviously which way draws and stuff go, but probably making a semi-final, but not getting to a final, not winning the World Cup.
Lawler, what do you reckon? Being over in London, mate.
I'm in the centre of it here, you know. Just
what's the atmosphere and what's the expectation?
I'm just hoping the Euros is going to be here now in the summertime and nowhere else.
Oh yeah.
But no, I totally agree with Connor. It's not a question. England always smash through the qualifiers. Go through the qualifiers unbeaten and get to a tournament, and all shit breaks loose then, and they have issues.
They write their songs. They already have the fucking homecoming sorted.
Yeah,
do all that bit.
win the first game against Tunisia and coming home. Fucking no, I think they get to the semi-finals, definitely quarter-finals, and quite possibly semi-finals. I would hate to see them in the final, but you know, just from an Irish point of view, but I strongly think they'll definitely get to a semi-final. They've a strong squad, and I think it's very different to the squad they had in 2006 when those boys didn't fucking talk to each other. These lads they're hugging each other outside the dressing rooms. They're having the chats, and they're going out together and messaging, like putting stuff up on Instagram and going to Ibiza in the summer.
Getting with birds together when they shouldn't be.
They have a great relationship.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be.
There it is.
To be fair, they're playing quality at West Ham.
Yeah, so
they started.
Yeah, they started them tonight, which is unusual. So when you look at kind of Southgate's selection, so lads, I'll just read out the team that they've started with tonight. It's only against San Marino, but Nick Pope in goal, Reece James, Connor Cody, John Stones, Ben Chilwell. Then you have Calvin Phillips, James Ward-Prowse, Jesse Lingard, Mason Mount, Sterling, and Dominic Lewin. That's the starting 11, and then I'm just gonna go through the subs they have as well, just to show the depth of the squad. So they have Harry Kane, Dean Henderson, Eric Dyer, Tyrone Mings, Luke Shaw, Kieran Trippier. That was very French, wasn't it? Anyway, Declan Rice, Phil Foden, Harry Maguire. Let's be honest, he shouldn't be there. Ollie Watkins, Sam Johnson, and Jude Bellingham. Lads, that is a fucking squad and a half. Like, and you're missing the likes of Grealish and all there. Like
Grealish,
Madison.
Like, as far as I'm concerned, less than a semi is a semi-final is gone. Less than a semi. Never worked, lads.
Less than a semi's not going in.
It's not going anywhere. So, lads, I think anything less than a semi-final for England in this World Cup is a failure, as far as I'm concerned. Paddy, what do you think?
I think that would be an economical matter. Yeah, they've an amazing squad, and yeah, what you're saying there about them all being mates and all at the end of the Manchester Derby and Greenwood and Foden going out together and all. Yeah, it's a much better camp, and you can see them, like, if they can pull together, like, yeah, and play well together, they'll beat anybody in the world.
They could win it.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they could win it?
When you're
good. It's their best chance, I think. One of the best chances. No, well, if not this one, the next one, because they'll be a bit more mature, because they've still got a lot of young players in the squad. Huh?
Nick Pope has to play in goal ahead of Pickford.
Yeah, I don't think Pickford is a question. What about Henderson? Like, he's not playing enough, really, is he? Like, is this going to be a thing where he's going to want to leave United now? Because
I think he'll stay in goal now. He's had his run of games. He's had one game where he's conceded in 9, is it?
Yeah, I think De Gea might be getting the heave out.
You can't drop a fella who's conceded in one game out of 9, like 8 clean sheets.
Yeah. Well, what do you reckon? What do you reckon for England in terms of, like, do you reckon a final for us? Like, do you reckon they could get to the final, or do you think there's too many other teams out there that can take them down?
If you look at all the countries' teams starting 11, I don't think England. I don't think any team beats England starting 11. But it's the fact, it's the English media and the hype that go into England at tournaments is their main downfall. I think what has happened for many teams is the hype has gotten in their head, and they've listened to the hype, and they've thought they've won it before it's been done. Like,
yeah.
So where would you final stage? They're already thinking about who they're playing in the final.
So where would you see? Like, would you see a minimum quarterfinal?
Minimum quarterfinal. I don't think they make a final though.
It's interesting. Like, who are we talking in terms of, like, other teams? So, like, the likes of, like, you have Brazil there. Are Brazil as strong as they used to be? Maybe not.
I don't.
Germany, Belgium, Holland don't look too great. Especially without Van Dijk. Obviously, he's going to be back by then, but they lost 2-1. I think it was 2-1 to Turkey last night. It's a bit of a poor result for them.
4-2, yeah.
4-2?
4-2, yeah.
Jesus. I thought it was fucking 2-1.
Portugal's or Ronaldo's last World Cup. and he'll be fucking gunning to win.
Yeah, Portugal again. Portugal have good quality there. Like there is a lot of decent teams, but like I just think looking at squad, I think England maybe kind of one of the best ones out there. Like when you look at like and maybe that is just us believing the hype again as well with that you always get with England. Like but like you can't.
I think it's a young squad.
Yeah, it is a young squad.
I mean, too young to win something like the World Cup.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, it's very inexperienced when you get to that stage where you're kind of looking for the experienced heads and looking for a John Terry.
Yeah, no, but yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Look at the team they left at home.
Like this still.
I was going to say you're looking at like the likes of Lewis Duncan all being left at home, not getting a run. Like there's probably 11 players who would take the 11 Irish shirts that started last night that haven't even made the English squad. You know, it's
100%.
The amount of players they have between them. They can roll in between. Like everyone's going to pick up injuries leading up to the World Cup in whatever it is, 16 months time. But I think they have enough even outside of their 25, 30 man squad that aren't lacking on experience. If John Stones gets injured or if Harry Maguire gets injured, fucking I'm sure Ollie's are afraid he does. Lewis Duncan can come in and sit on a bench for England, playing week in, week out in the Premiership. Tyrone Mings can come in week in, week out in the Premiership. Ben Mee, James Tarkowski. Like they're not playing the best of clubs. Patrick Bamford not getting into the squad.
He's not coming to us either, but it sounds like.
No, he's not. He wants to play for England.
I don't think we're an option anymore now. I can see why.
I'm really crying watching that interview during the week.
I saw, yeah.
Lads, so just on to the next part of that question. Just a quick one on this one. Villa this season and where do you think you'll finish? So obviously lately they've been kind of really poor. That comes down, I think, massively to missing the likes of Grealish there. It was just a complete playmaker for them, just creates all the chances. Paddy, do you reckon they're going to be going any higher, any lower, or do you reckon they'll kind of stay where they are at the moment?
They'll finish exactly where they are now. They're 10th at the moment, and I can't see them really going anywhere from here.
10th is poor considering that, but they were up at 6th and 7th there a couple of weeks ago. Like, like are they really that heavy reliant on Grealish? Like,
it must be.
Yeah,
it must be. Yeah.
Connor,
I haven't been following them that well now, but I can't see them getting any higher. Like for the results they've been on, and is Grealish due back soon?
I don't know. I don't know how long he has left. So. I don't think he's got a date anytime soon coming up. So, like if you look at the rest of,
you know what injury it is?
Is it knee? Is it?
Or I'll tell you exactly how long he's out for if you tell him exactly what the injury is.
They could trust the physio to ask him a fucking what is that injury that he's got?
He'll be back in about 5 years' times according to the fucking physio.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Didn't hear either of them there.
Didn't hear that. So
he was like, my ACL gone. No, it's grand. It's grand. 6 weeks later,
I'll allow that because there was a lot of swelling around my knee, so I'll allow that to just slide. So they're sitting in 10th position. Arsenal sitting above them in 9th with 1 point, obviously more. But then it goes to Everton, who are sitting in 8th, but they're 5 points ahead of them. So there's a bit of a gap to try to get back up to that 8th, 7th, 8th position. Like so, I think they probably are peaking at the moment now. Leeds and Palace are kind of right behind them. Palace 4 points behind and Leeds 2 points behind. So they could potentially kind of drop down a little bit further. So like we're looking at maybe 10th position, I think, for that. We all kind of in agreement around that. I don't think there's much more debate for that one. Like,
no, I think we all saw them falling off with or without Grealish beforehand. We called them when they were sitting in 4th and 5th position, battling for Europe. I think we all were in agreement that they wouldn't keep the run up. Yeah. And obviously, Grealish going out injured has accelerated how fast they fell. But yeah, I can't see them putting a string of 7 or 8 wins together to get them back into above Everton and back into that 6th, 7th spot. I think it's going to be a little bit too much of a stretch for them.
Right, we'll move on from that one, lads. Just while we're on, kind of go on. Were you going to say something there, Lala? You look very.
I just read something. We were talking about the English hype train there a minute ago, and right. I saw it's your mate Mason Mount.
Oh yeah, our player.
It was Mason Mount has created 8 goal scoring opportunities, the most amount of chances by any player in a European qualifier. So since in a qualifier of a major tournament since Xavi in 2008, they're playing San fucking Marino like.
What a player! What a player! That's all I'm gonna say is what a player.
They're like, what a player! He did against San Marino. I think I could create a fucking chance against San Marino.
Team. San Marino are a great team. I've always said it.
They have 4 points in 32 years.
And that's points of Guinness. 4 points before the game.
They beat Liechtenstein in 2004. It's their only ever victory. It was in a friendly. I already read it this morning. It was gas.
Right, lads, we're going to move off that one, right? So there is a couple more questions that we maybe just get through them. So we have another one here from connorstyo. What team would you predict to go up from the championship next year? So it's a tough one. Like I said, I think I was showing the lads the question. It's tough to know because you want to see who goes down this year. So that's one of the major things. So we're looking at the 3 teams that are there: West Brom, Sheffield United, and Fulham.
Newcastle.
According to Water, it's 100% Fulham. So
are you sure they wouldn't mean this year?
I think
it'd be a bit of an odd question to ask for next year.
Well, who's going to go up this year is Norwich.
Norwich, yeah. Norwich are about 8 points clear. So I'm going to take it at face value and take it that it's for next year. So look, I think if a Fulham drop down there, they're going straight back up. I also think if a Newcastle drop down, they're going to go back up.
I've got a question there. Who's going to win the Premier League now in 2030?
2030.
2030. I'm going to say Chelsea. We'll watch this back in 10 years and be like, fucking hell, he was right. Chelsea win the league again for the 4th time in a row.
I want Brentford to go up so I can walk down the road to a big match.
That's a show. That is actually a show. You're not far from Brentford, and neither was I the other day, Lala, when you tried to catch me out on your Instagram page. Really?
Yeah.
Class. The two of us are winding each other up on. Shall I tell the story, Lala?
Yeah, you can.
Some gay licking.
Well, probably.
Lala's a fairly. Go on, right?
You can tell part of the story, yeah. Probably wouldn't say what you said, but.
So Lala's a fairly keen Gaelicer, and over in London
he loves Ghana as well.
Yeah, he loves Gaelic football as well. Over in London, he plays for who was it, St. Brendan's?
Yes.
So
back training next week.
Back training next Monday, apparently. I found that out because they put up a post saying new players are welcome down, and I sent him a private message saying I was interested. Knowing well that Lala had already told me that he's the only one that has access to the page and he runs the page. So when I messaged Lala, I got a message back saying, "Oh, that's great news, Colin. We'd love to have you down. Have you played Gaelic before? What's your history? Blah, blah, blah." And signs it off from the club secretary, Maurice. so as soon as I got this message,
Morris.
It's what?
Maurice. As far as I'm concerned, that's Maurice.
You really are bad at pronouncing names, aren't you? You said this earlier.
Morris is M-O-R-R-I-S. That's Morris.
That's the
Leave Colleen alone, will you?
Yeah, leave Brittany alone. Anyway, go on. Sorry. Anyway,
you were telling the story.
Sorry. It got to the stage where Lala and me ended up just winding each other up. Lads, we'll move on from this because it's fucking. You had to be there, wasn't it?
That story.
That was a shit ending. Yeah, what happened was that he tried to wind me up and then I tried to wind him, and then eventually it just went up in the last.
He just went Gaelicing.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
They met in the Phoenix Park afterwards.
We have Connor. I think this could be Connor here. Sheffield Wednesday will go up. That's an interesting one.
Connor, can you confirm if it's for this year or next year?
Yeah, we do need confirmation whether it's this year or next year.
Or the year after, or the year after that. Whatever year, just pick a year.
I was presuming.
Bottom. They'll be going up to the championship from League One.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah, I was just going to say that because Sheffield Wednesday are second last in the championship. So I love your optimism, but you might be a bit off there.
So they were good to points, though, weren't they?
They're not far off from that now. Yeah, they have a couple of games in hand as well.
They started at minus 15.
Rotherham are just ahead of them, and Rotherham have 3 games in hand over them.
Oh, he did mean next season.
Yeah, so 21-22. Yeah, so it's interesting if Sheffield Wednesday obviously stay up this year, then they may have a chance of
them staying up. They're like Fulham. They're going down.
Lads, we did have one more question. This one here comes in from daraghhynes, and he was saying, have we any League of Ireland chat?
I'm losing my connection. Sorry, I'm losing my connection. I can't hear anything.
This is kind of something that we don't really cover that much.
Paddy doesn't watch the Ireland games. Never mind the League of Ireland.
Yeah, we don't.
Can we not talk about enough about that?
Let's finish with this. Okay, now the lad's waiting for an answer here. No, look, this is something that kind of we don't really talk that much about, but it is maybe something that we might start looking at in the next kind of couple of weeks. I think I want to start watching a bit more of it myself. If we're going to have Steve Kenny as manager, I think I need to know a bit more about Irish football. So this is definitely something that we may look at over the next kind of couple of months. Obviously, the league only started there last week, so
it is look at next season. We'll look at. It
is always a league that I bet on. That's one thing I will say. So I'm always kind of up to date on the league results in terms of the players, and ability wise, not so much. Lads, we're going to move off the questions, right? And what we were 51 minutes in.
51 minutes in.
Fucking hell. We're about to start a debate here that I put up on the Instagram, and it was pretty much a 50-50 split. I think it was like 51. I'm just going to pull up the exact numbers. But the question was, anyway, who was the better midfielder? And that goes Paul Scholes or Steven Gerrard. Paddy, I'm going to go to you on this one, obviously being a United fan. So just me being a neutral between these two, the way I've seen it is any United fan I've asked has been, like, if we're looking, imagine this being a table, right? There's A, there's fucking Z. United fans have been here and saying, like, there's absolutely Gerrard's here. And then I could literally ask a Liverpool fan and it would go like that. And then it's the other way around.
That's a great analogy, that was.
I mean, from top to bottom.
It's completely flip, like.
No, I wouldn't. Like, Gerrard is one of the best midfielders of the Premier League era.
I don't mean in terms of his ability in relation to anyone else, just in comparison to Paul Scholes.
Paul Scholes is a better midfielder for what he's done for his club and for the recognition he gets from the people he's played against. If you look at the best players in the world, Zidane, Pirlo, Iniesta have all bigged up Paul Scholes. They've all said he's one of the best midfielders they've ever played against. I've heard very few statements.
I've seen are maybe
made up.
Like,
you see the same.
I've seen them saying it.
No,
I see the videos of them being interviewed. No, the interviews of them. Also, their voices are being dubbed now.
I want you to provide.
Shelby doesn't speak English. I presume it is being dubbed.
I want you to provide me with these videos, and I'll post them on the Instagram story just so people can see these stories, because I am eager. So you're 100% Paul Scholes, no question.
Well,
if you break it down a little bit more, what are you kind of looking at, like, in terms of why is he so much better?
Paul Scholes, for the amount of league trophies he's won, but I'd still put Roy Keane above Paul Scholes for what he done for the club. To be quite honest, I think he's the best midfielder of the Premier League era, not for his skill, but for what he done for the team. But it's not Roy Keane conversation. I think Paul Scholes for what he did, he controlled that team for years and years, and a championship winning team. He was one of the main players to keep them going forward. Steven Gerrard, as amazing as he was, they never won the Premier League, and the one time they were close to it, he fucked it up for them.
Cuts deep.
Which he did, though. So I don't really. There's not much of an argument in it for me. It is close. For me, it's close, definitely. I can understand why Liverpool fans, obviously the loyalty, but loyalty makes you blind sometimes as well. Scholes won a lot more than Gerrard in the time he was there. And that's what it really comes down to. How many medals have you got? Show me your medals at the end of your career.
Yeah, me and Walter were looking it up, and I think was it 25 trophies in total that Scholes had.
Scholes has 11 Premier Leagues and 2 Champions Leagues.
Yeah, and 25 trophies in total. So I'm going to go to you next, and then I'll probably jump to Connor. Scholes or Gerrard? Give me your breakdown. Give me your analysis of this one, and let me know what you've got to say about this one.
I am in between. I'm not as much for Scholes as Paddy is now. Passing wise, Scholes is 100 times better than Gerrard, without a doubt. Any bit of passing, Scholes is 100 times better. For long shots or shots outside the box, would you say they're equal? I'd potentially go Gerrard a little bit more. Tackling, it's Gerrard 100 times over because Scholes cannot tackle. And if it's the question of who's the better midfielder, are you talking about who's the better all-round midfielder?
Yeah, well, it would be because you do have to break this down. Like I was saying it to you earlier, what I was kind of saying, like, right, fair enough, you could just have one argument where you go, well, just look at what he's won. And that's exactly what Paddy's done. He's just gone, well, what has he won? Like, I want to kind of, like, if you were to put down a list of categories, right, tackling, passing, long passing, short passing, chances created, goals scored, like game winning stuff, like, you know, like although obviously I haven't got this in front of me and we're not going to break it down like that, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for just like, well, look, he didn't win any trophies. I just want to know, as an all-round player, who was the better, who was the more talented, who could walk into a team that's struggling and change it much more than the other.
I think they both can, and I think Scholes will change it different to Gerrard. And I think a part of the conversation is who you're going to have beside these people. Because for Scholes, you need a midfielder beside him that's going to sit a bit more. Gerrard probably doesn't need that as much because he has the ability to get up and down the pitch.
I think Gerrard was left to do all the work on his own, wasn't he? Like, he was left to do all the work in midfield as opposed to at least Scholes had Kane.
Yeah, well, look, there was a time when Gerrard was sitting there beside Javi Alonso and had that kind of player beside him as well. Yeah. So let's not fucking be around the bush here. They still didn't manage to win a league with that, like, him beside him. Like, so, I'm not letting anything slide where, like, you can say like that players didn't have players beside them.
Scholes a better technical player, but I think Gerrard was probably a better leader.
Yeah. Well, look, if I'm looking at it from a neutral, I wouldn't have seen Paul Scholes as a leader. I would have seen him as a player that really would have controlled the pace of a game. I wouldn't have called it a leader in terms of like what you get with Roy Keane, where he's fucking kicking you up the arse and he's giving you that bit more like
by example, maybe.
Yeah, maybe just in terms of him just like controlling the game. Like, I think what you were saying that you needed someone, Paul Scholes needed someone maybe deeper, did he? Is that what you were saying?
Deeper, because he can't tackle. Like, you know, like we all know this. Paul Scholes can't tackle.
I would have thought, like, but like coming out of the back, obviously, yeah, for cover going forward, he would have definitely needed that. But when you look at kind of him, you know, you're playing out from the back or whatever, he was definitely one that used to always kind of drop and get the ball and kind of hit that long pass. Right, yeah. So he kind of got away with it a bit, because he was so good at them long passes where he wasn't trying to hit a 30-yard pass. It was breaking down, and all of a sudden he was getting caught out. Like, he was kind of getting away with them passes because he was able to pick.
That was later on in his career, though.
Yeah,
that was when he was a bit slower. Like, you know, he stopped running into the box as much and stuff. You know, he set back and he controlled the pace of the game.
Yeah.
But in his younger days, he wouldn't have been that. He would have been much more forward up the pitch. Like.
So what? Just going back, you're not as kind of convinced.
I'm not more leaning towards. I think it's very close. Like, I'm leaning towards Scholes, but I think it is very close.
Connor, we'll go to you. Just obviously being the only Liverpool fan here, we were hoping Melon would be on to kind of have your back as well here. Yeah, but obviously not. So, what do you reckon? Like, are you 100% Gerrard, or are you kind of?
No, I think Paddy touched on it. It depends on what team you throw them into. I think for that Liverpool team, I know you touched on like Alonso, Mascherano midfield. That's kind of when Gerrard found himself pushed out onto the right-hand side, probably one of his poorest seasons. It's when, as Paddy mentioned, when he didn't really have anybody around him, and ultimately what Gerrard did was grab games by the scruff of the neck. Wasn't pretty most of the time. It was determination, grit. He got on with games, and he brought the best out of players who did have a bit of talent around them. If he had Torres playing up front off him, but he had no wide players, he brought the best out of Torres. If he had two up front with Suarez and Sturridge, but he had still Jermaine Pennant on the left, he obviously brought the best out of the two lads up front. If I was going to look and say who would suit Liverpool better right now with a more of an all-round team, it's 100% Paul Scholes. I think one of the things you mentioned there was if a team was struggling, who would I bring in to turn things around? It would probably be Gerrard. But Paul Scholes just dictated tempo. He made games go faster. He made games go slower. He controlled how hard players worked on and off the ball. Like he controlled how a game went. And if he wanted the game to move quickly, the game started to move quickly. And if he wanted to slow the tempo down, the game slowed down. Like there's nothing anybody else on the pitch could do anything about. So again, it's almost like that. The way I'd see it is like that Ronaldo Messi one of they both did something well in their own right. Scholes, much better winner, 100%. Did an equal amount for his team. And obviously had great success off of it. Gerrard didn't have the level of success. Did he try? Yeah, 100%. Does he have the same technical ability we touched on? Probably not, no. But he had that engine. It's kind of what he relied on up until he was, 33, 34, still playing with Liverpool at the top end of the Premiership. So I really think it does depend. If you were to say to Scott Parker tomorrow morning to get them out of the relegation zone, who would suit them better to pull them out of the mess? Steven Gerrard. But if he said to United now, and I'm not saying it could be different because of the players who are there, but you're saying we're looking for someone we have quality around, we're looking for someone to control a game, to bring them in, to control tempo. You're bringing Paul Scholes in all day long.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think you're being a little bit harsh as well on Gerrard at the same time by saying
he's the best. He's the best one. Would I have Scholes at that and any of those Liverpool teams he played in ahead of him? 100% not. Scholes would have been wasted in a team like that without. I'm not saying he relied on. He didn't need quality around him, but his talents came out when he had quality to spread the ball too, and when he could rely on someone in behind for a goal, or even I only watched there last weekend. Him and what's that thing that Neville does? It's like his Saturday chat where they sit around with a bowl of sweets and they watch fucking goals.
But
Scholes
on the couch. That's right.
Yeah, but Scholes was on with him anyway. And he was showing like all the goals he scored off the floated corners out to him, and he hit them on the volley. He had some quality to deliver a ball. Steven Gerrard would have to take the corner and then hit it himself at the end of it, you know. Apart from like having Xavi Alonso with the team with him, so I would never take back what Gerrard did for Liverpool. In obviously not the brightest of days for Liverpool, but obviously Scholes was the perfect person at United for those whatever he was there 16 years.
Yeah, even coming back.
Coming back.
Yeah, coming back out of retirement and being kind of that age and still kind of running the show like.
Poxy manager and Poxy at betting as well. But we'll let that slide.
Yeah. we don't let stuff like that slide on this show. So Laura, what do you reckon? Would you be a 100% Paul Scholes, or would you be what would your opinion be on this?
I don't think I need to add too much more to that, to be honest. I think both of the lads touched on it there. It depends on what team.
Both of the lads. So who didn't say anything of use or value? There's three of us have said something.
We can all believe it's us. It's okay. Don't answer that. We can all believe
he's just ignored Connor, and he's like, the two United lads have said everything.
Yeah. Did anyone notice just before this Kieran scream went black in the background, like he's sent to the fucking mastermind chair? But
specialist subject, Paul Scholes.
I just absolutely failed. I know. I agree with the lads. Like,
how many lads?
This time I'm going to say it depends on what team you put them into, you know. And I think they're both very top quality players in their own right. I would say Paul Scholes would be the better all-round player, but in terms of, like Connor said, in terms of drive and grabbing games with a scruff of the neck, when she hits the fan, Gerrard's fantastic to have in your team. So I don't think I need to add too much more to it. Just kind of go around in circles.
I think a good point maybe to make of it would be look at what they done in the England squad, because they were out of their elements there. And when they came in, Scholes was kind of always, he was played out on the wing. He never got really. And what you've got to ask, why is that? When like Gerrard and Lampard were kind of used in the middle and Scholes wasn't. Was that because he wasn't as much of an enforcer as the other two lads? Although Lampard probably wouldn't have been, but maybe they put Lampard in because was it the media that got them in? Scholes
would have got.
That's why Lampard got in, yeah. And what about Gerrard over Scholes in the England squad?
It's an interesting one with kind of Scholes in the England squad. Like you were saying there, he was played a lot kind of out of
position.
Out of position. So I'm kind of, I would kind of scrap that England squad in terms of like that being a comparison, because like you had the likes of Gerrard there playing as well, who didn't really suit with Lampard, and that was always a massive thing with England. Like it was always like Gerrard and Lampard can't play together, or else you're picking one or the other. Like
look at every player in that England squad, big, massive personalities who love to smell their own shite. And Scholes wasn't one of those players. Very quiet, subdued character, like so. It is. It's an interesting one, lads. I'm gonna ask you a quick one, right? And now you're gonna fucking shut me down straight away. But Lampard in there. No.
Scoring goals, without a doubt.
Different player again, like what he said.
But he's still classed as a centre midfielder, and that's what I was talking to a couple of lads in work about Lampard, and they were like, "Well, do you kind of class him as a number 10?" I was like, "Well, not really. He played centre mid, just got forward a lot. I think he was very underrated." In terms of kind of his
very underrated. You'd suck his cock if you walked into your house right now.
No, yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, 100%. But I mean, in terms of like his energy levels, like his getting around the pitch and stuff like that, I think he never really got the credit for that work rate that he done.
I don't think he was underrated. I just think there's less Chelsea fans, so there was less noise about him.
Yeah, maybe. But that's what. No, but I'm just saying in terms of his energy, not underrated as a whole, as a player, and obviously the goals and stuff he scored. Obviously not underrated, and kind of
because anybody that knows anything about football would say he's up there with the two of them. Like the three of them, you couldn't really say definitively that absolutely the best, because they all have their own qualities that other players don't have, and they're three of the best players of the Premier League era, three of the best midfielders of the Premier League era. No, players all over the pitch of the Premier League era, so you can't really argue
bring in Paddy Vieira as well.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah.
And if you're bringing in Kane, you're bringing in Kane. You're bringing in Kane. So like five of the best midfielders that have played in the Premier League era. Would you put any kind of midfielders from today's game into it? No.
Not yet.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Toure.
Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah.
Toure is not a bad shout. Like in terms of him kind of being compared with Scholes, Gerrard.
I'm a suit check.
I don't think he gets a look in because it's obviously the English lads kind of get a bit more hype. But yeah, like the likes of if you're bringing in them quality. He was. He was class. Like, well, if you're bringing in kind of the midfielders of back in the day, Roy Keane and Vieira are definitely two that come into the mix.
Like you need, I think, the English players, the English midfielders of today, to go to the top clubs, because I think some of their best midfielders, say Grealish, Maddison, are at teams where they won't truly get the recognition that they probably deserve, and they deserve to be in better teams than they're in. I know Leicester are up there playing around top four and stuff like that, but they're not a big enough club, I don't think, for these type of players. They need to be a big club, I think.
Yeah, they're not a massive club as a whole, kind of. But look, like they're working towards something there, and then Brendan Rodgers definitely has them playing pretty well. So, like you never know in the next couple of years where they're going to be at. But yeah, I do agree that they're not, in terms of like club stature, they're obviously not there. And yeah, it's an interesting one.
I can see them going. I can see them going to one of the bigger clubs.
All right, interesting. Lads, I'm going to fucking fly through a couple of these comments that are coming here because a couple of people need to be called out on bullshit. Connor, this youngster, I don't know who he is, never heard of him, so I don't have an opinion on him. This fella here, never heard of him. Sorry, I'm gonna read out the names. Actually, no, I'm not gonna read out the names just in case it says something. Barack Obama, Pikey Dons. Yeah, cheers for that. James Eaton, what should I call my pro club's keeper?
Peace Allens.
Peace Allens, yeah.
All in. Peace Allen's all in.
Peace Allens, yeah. I don't know.
I was gonna do Izzy. You should call him.
No, you can't.
No,
shut up. No, you can't.
Barack Obama, pick E. So I don't know whether he's calling that name or he's calling us Pikeys. I don't know. Either way it's fine. You're all in dread. And then he comes back with inbred. So I don't think I need to say any more about that one. Erectile dysfunction is back. What's the crack?
You always come back after I have a few cans.
He's always there. He's always there when you don't want him. What's the crack on? Daniel Charles has come back inbred. So he's
got there.
He's got there in the end. So fair play to him.
Just look at the keyboard and press it enter.
That's what happens when you have the 6 fingers in each hand. You just can't.
Jazzy and buffering. All right, that's great. Don't know what you're trying there. And then Erectile, so nice spelling lad, and he's taking the piss out of a guy that cannot spell inbred. So, so that's the comments that come in there, lads. So appreciate the bullshit that's coming there. Lads, I want just before we move on from that, I'm gonna ask. I'll go through each one of you, and I want your ranking. Paul Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, Keane, and Vieira. So I'm going to put the pressures on you now. Paddy, I'm going to start with you.
Right now?
Yep.
Right.
No fucking around.
Keane number 1. Vieira number 2.
Oh, so you're saying Vieira better than Scholes, Gerrard?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. Again, show me your trophies. And I know Scholes has more, but I mean, for what he done for Arsenal, definitely had the team he was in. Right. Next, the next 3, those 2 for me top. I'm going to go right. Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard.
Connor?
I'd be the same as Paddy. The 2 lads stand out. I'd probably have Vieira ahead of Keane. And then the other 3 are throwaways. Like literally pick them out of a fucking hat, to be honest. So
yeah.
Well, I want you to rank them.
Yeah, go on. I'll keep it the opposite then as Paddy. So I'll go with Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard, if that's the way we're going to be. But I don't really have an opinion either way. If you give me one, I'll take it.
Okay. Go on now. Lawler?
I'm going to go with Paddy. I'm going to have. Well, I have Kane, and I couldn't really give a fuck about what order the rest of them go in. I'd have Kane, Vieira, and then the rest. Like Connor, don't really particularly care.
Yeah, but you have to, because this is Connie's game.
Yeah, this is my game. Yeah.
You won't be on next week.
I'm taking the ball and go.
Okay. The only reason he wants it in order is because he's thrown Lampard in here. And he wants to know where Lampard should go. That's 100% the reason.
Yeah.
No, give us a number. Number.
The next one will be, who's the best manager?
Hold on. I want to hear Lawler.
Kane, Vieira, Scholes, Gerrard, and Lampard. There at the end, I suppose he has to go in there. Hold on, are we putting Lampard in ahead of like anyone else?
Shut your face
on that. I think we should just do top 4.
What have you gone with?
Oh, I think the lads have already said it. It has to be Keane, Vieira, and then it's going to be Scholes, Gerrard, and then Lampard. I think Lampard slots in at the end after all of that.
Fair enough, lads. Fair enough.
What about you, Collie? You give it the 5.
Lampard.
I'm going
John Terry.
I'm going Lampard, Vieira, Keane.
You're a bullshitter.
Gerrard is going.
You're a bullshitter.
That's the way I'm going. That is the way I'm going. Lampard, Vieira, Keane. Gerrard and Scholes, yeah. I think for me, Gerrard was an better all-round player than Scholes was. Scholes had passing ability, couldn't tackle, didn't score as many goals, didn't assist as many. That's why I'm putting it down to him.
You're a wind-up merchant.
He's going mental because we all picked Lampard number 5. He's going
lads,
you need to change yours and put Lampard at the bottom.
If we're going to talk about changing games, Scholes change games, Lampard is the highest scorer out of a lot of them. So that's all I'm going to say on that one. Lads, we're going to move on from this. Paddy just wants a quick one on this. This was your one, actually. Greatest manager of all time. This is an interesting one.
I didn't mean for this week. I meant give us a bit of time to prepare and study and stuff. And then,
right.
Although I know who I'm going to pick, but...
Right, go on. So you know who you're going to pick. Who is it? David Moyes.
Rafa Benitez.
Who would you, if you can pick anyone, who are you picking?
I have to say Alex Ferguson for the longevity, the way he changed the team, the different eras of football that he went through, what he built the club from and to. Yeah, I have to say Alex Ferguson. Absolutely.
War.
We didn't like. Sorry, just to like. I think as United fans, we didn't realise how good we had it
You United
until
fan?
he was gone. Yeah, did you know? I'm very, very unbiased. It's hard to know, I know. But yeah, okay, that's it. Yeah, I miss him so.
What do you think?
It's not a contest. Like, it has to be Fergie 100%. Anyone who doesn't say Fergie should be shot. Like, where?
Khalil say Lampard.
Serious statements coming out of you.
Yeah, ridiculous statements.
No questions asked. If you don't like Fergie, shoot him.
These didn't say gas them now, which is something you would say, Lala, now.
No.
Oh,
Not like.
Can you bleep that out? Can you bleep that out? Jesus Christ.
Go on, War. So who is that?
I already said it. Fergie.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Connor, who is saying?
Vincent Del Bosque. He won La Liga, Champions League, Copa del Rey, World Cup, European Cup. He's won it all, international and club level. He's also played at the level and has won the same things as a player.
Alex Ferguson won the European Cup with Aberdeen. Come on now.
No, sorry, the European Cup. I mean, he won the Champions League and the European Cup with Spain.
Oh no, I know that. No, I know.
And the World Cup.
No, I know that. Yeah. But Aberdeen, come on.
It was a chance. Lawler.
Like you're asking three United fans. Like I'm going to say Fergie, but I like Connor's hipster choice.
Hipster. He's won everything there is to win. What more do you want your manager to do?
Okay.
Like left field.
I love his hipster choice.
I'm gonna go.
He is such a hipster, isn't he?
I'm gonna say Lampard. No, but listen. It's a tough one for me. Like I do think Ferguson's definitely one of the best managers that's ever existed. Like, how do I compare him with Pep? Can I put Pep in there? Like, is it a bit too early for Pep?
Maybe in 20 years.
Yeah, I think
you wouldn't have a lot of people that argue against it.
I don't know how they can.
Except Water says you should be shot if you don't pick Fergie, so he would argue against it.
The only thing about Pep is like everyone always gives him a bit of stick because like he's come into these teams where they're kind of top teams. Fergie kind of came into United when they were struggling. He nearly got them relegated the first year, I believe, and then
not for the first 4 years.
Yeah, and then kind of turned it all around. So, look, I think
Paddy won't give Stephen Kenny the rest of the campaign, but he was happy to give Fergie 14 years.
Oh, not the I won't.
No, if he loses 4 games, he should be gone.
Look, I'd give Ole 4 years. I'd give Ole 4 years. No problem.
How many has he got? He's 3, is he?
There's 3 done. He has 1 left.
If he's wanna fucking hurry up, wouldn't he?
Yeah, give him next season. Of course you would. I'm not going to give him 5 and 6 years.
Oh yeah, they got knocked out of the FA Cup since. I thought Water said they had to have a final, otherwise.
Yeah, the Europa League.
Yeah, I don't know. If they get knocked out of that, if they don't win that, is it a failure?
Yeah, no, he said it was.
Second.
I think it is.
Water said it's a failure if they don't have a final.
Yeah, it is.
And you accept failures at Manchester United Football Club?
Do you not think the points difference from last season to this season?
What do you get for finishing second, Paddy?
Liverpool are just
sorry.
What do you get for finishing second?
No progress. I'm looking at next season. Then, like if you knocked Liverpool out second, that's if we finish second. Still, there's no guarantee of that either. But if we have, which we already do, a lot more points than we did the previous season, you can see progress, and that's all you're looking for. You're not looking for miracles. I'm not expecting United to win the league this season. Next season, I want us to be getting close, but like you have to be realistic.
You can't get much closer than second. So next year you're going to win it.
Points gap. No, points gap. Like if Man City win it again, but we could, like it's only 3 to 6 points in, and we really run them till the last day of the season, or Liverpool again, that's progress again, and it's unlucky. that you don't win at the end of the season. But like, you're not finished the season 13 to 15 points behind the team that win it.
Are you sick of the likes of Rashford there? Rashford in particular, I'm picking out because I've talked to a couple of United fans over the last couple of days and work and stuff like that. And everyone always pinpoints Rashford being lazy, having a bad attitude.
Not lazy. He's no way. He's been overplayed and he's fucking bollocks.
Walks around the pitch a lot and pisses and moans a lot. That's what I'm hearing from. That's not me saying that. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from United fans. That
sounds like Martial to me. It doesn't sound like Rashford.
Martial was actually he was said in the same category, but Rashford was definitely who they were talking about.
No, I think Rashford's been playing with an injury. I think when Rashford's fully fit, he works his bollocks off. He's the one that makes most of the runs in behind.
Yeah. So yeah, lads, I'm gonna obviously have to just go with the likes of Fergie there as one of the best ones. Honourable mention for Arsene Wenger, by the way, because like what he done at Arsenal as well was pretty impressive. Like,
yeah, but then he hung on for way too long.
He did overstay as well a bit, I think. But look, we'll move on to the next thing. Lads, just again quickly go back to the comments here. Just a few more fucking shit coming in here. Fill in my cracking. I presume
this is Jaman again. This is inbred.
The next comment I want.
Okay, let's have a look. Rafa Benitez is in the bottom left corner. I like that one. I gotta say that is a good show. I like that.
You're just missing the white shirt and the black jacket.
Oh, I do like that. You've redeemed yourself, Connor S. Young. The next one, lads. James Eaton, what do you think of McGoldrick? Connor?
Retired. I wish he was there. We could have done with a goal scorer, but he's not there anymore. So playing well with Sheffield United. I think he's more suited to the Championship. I don't think he's going to get picked up by a Premier League club. But I can see him doing well in the Championship next season, without a doubt.
8 goals here. But like you said, he's definitely not going to get picked up by a Premier League team.
No.
He's done all right.
Right, we'll move on. We're not going to spend too long on these comments. The best manager is Big Sam. It's hard to disagree with that one.
That's him in the bottom left corner.
Next one, Connor Young. Alex Ferguson is a BTEC.
BTEC.
Okay, what's
Lala knows what that is.
He has won the under 18s Cup 20 times. It's not even close. Fair enough. I like this one, lads. This is for a different day, though. Who was better, Adam Johnson or Ched Evans? Adam was good with youngsters, but Ched Evans had more experience. Yeah, that is a good one, and that's one that you'd probably have to talk to your parole officer about. Lads, we're going to move on to the...
Thought I can see him losing his job right now.
Lads, we're going to finish up now. We're an hour and 23 into it, so there's one or two other things that I just want to quickly just... This one here, Paddy, we were talking about this, our ultimate squad, so I'll let you explain what you want and what you're expecting from us and what you want to see over the next week or so from us.
I think it'd be a good idea for us all to do our first 11 and 4 subs of the Premier League era and put them up in the Insta during the week, start a bit of a conversation going, and then talk about it next week on the pod.
Cool. So you were saying, are we sticking to a certain amount of players? Like, have we got like a formation, you
pick your own formation. You pick your formation.
Okay.
No, make your own formation. Your first 11, what formation you'd use, and then 4 subs on the bench.
So Colley's going to pick 2010-2011 Chelsea.
Right. So that's a good one, Paddy. We'll get on that, lads. You have a bit of homework.
Do you think subs or not, or we just go with the first 11?
3 subs. Let's say 3 subs, one in each position: defender, midfielder, and striker. Let's go.
The goalkeeper. The goalkeeper gets injured.
Fuck the goalkeeper. No, you're right. 4 subs, goalkeeper has to be included. I'm easily persuaded. Lads, we're going to move on to the last thing, the bets. Connor, have you got any bets for me?
I've got none done for the weekend, but let me see how my ones have gone for this evening. I did have €3 on San Marino to beat England, but apparently they've been beaten by 5 goals to 0.
Worth a try. No, you can't win.
So that didn't come in. I also had done England, Spain, Scotland, and Sweden to win at 6-1. And somebody has let me down in that one, and I believe it was Scotland.
Yeah, it sounds like it probably drew, did they?
No, Spain. Spain drew at Greece.
Jeez, that's a bit of a shocker.
And Scotland drew at Austria 2-2 as well.
I was going to say there was a. No, never mind. I'm going to just share my screen here really quick, and I'll just run through. Like you said, it is International Week there, so it's not the greatest week to be doing bets. I've gone with a fourfold. Lads, no one else has bets there. Sorry, before we actually go on to Paddy, can you give us an update on your 5 to 1,000?
Yeah, I lost it again. But I'll be starting it again in the next Premier League game week. I'll start.
So what is it you're going with?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't decided yet.
Is it a 5 to a tenner or is it 50 or what way are you starting?
That was a
10 to a tenner.
5 to 1,000. Sorry, yeah, 5 to 1,000. So you're gonna start at 5 to 1,000, okay?
10 to 1,000. 10 to 1,000.
10 to 1,000. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, but I got up to what was it? I got up to last time? 3. No, I didn't actually get to the 320.
No,
so
it's 80 or something like that, was it?
Oh, 120.
120. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Paddy, it might be a good idea if you are going to start that and you get the bet on, send it across to me, and I'll stick it up on the Instagram page, and we'll let people if people want to jump in and follow you and have a bit of a laugh, they can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you send us across the bet each week or whatever you're doing it, send it across. I'll get it straight up on the Instagram page. Anyone that's following you can do the bet along with you. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Right, lads, just a quick run through what I've got going here for the weekend. Like I said, it's international football, and there's not much good value, not great value available. There's a few League 1, League 2 games going on, so that's kind of, I've looked at some of them as well. So I've gone with a fourfold, €2 on it, 219 quid back, 4 draws. So Forest Green and Bolton to draw, Wigan and Ipswich to draw, Grimsby and Walsall to draw, and then I've gone with Norway and Turkey to draw. That would be an interesting match, I think. Lads, the next one then is my big bet of the weekend. I've gone with a tenner on this one. 320 returns. So I've gone with Russia to beat Slovenia. I've gone with Blackpool to beat Plymouth. I've gone with Sunderland to beat Bristol Rovers. I've gone with Hull to beat Gillingham. Queen's Park to beat Brechin. I don't know how you say that. Brechin, okay. Peterborough to beat Accrington. Stanley. Exactly. And I've gone with Belgium to beat Czech Republic. So Water might not agree with that one. And then I've done one more, which is a tenfold with 3 quid on, which gives me back 297. So again, these are kind of mad odds. Like Montenegro 1 to 14. Look, it wouldn't even be a fucking bad idea to leave them out of that. I think I've done this on all the internationals for Saturday. So I've gone with Montenegro, Russia, Belarus, Croatia, Netherlands again. Like I said, 1 to 25. Leave them out if you want. I've just done every single match. Norway, Turkey to draw. I've gone with Belgium to beat Czech Republic, Serbia and Portugal to draw, Ireland to beat Luxembourg, and Slovakia to beat Malta. So yeah, that's all I've got done. Again, like I said, I wouldn't be going too mad this weekend for anyone that's doing the bets, because there's not great value in the internationals. Like all the obvious results, they're always like the likes of that 1 to 25 and stuff like that. So it's kind of it's a tough one to earn a bit of money out without kind of risking a lot. Like so, lads, we're going to wrap it up. For anyone that's watching, again, we're on the Instagram page, the Footballbets4u podcast. You'll find us there. All of our stuff will be going up during the week. So all, like I said, Paddy's bets and our teams that we're picking. We might go one each day or something like that. We haven't figured out. We'll talk offline about that and see what way we want to do it. Anyone that's watching us on YouTube or anything like that, make sure you get over and subscribe. Anyone that hasn't subscribed already, just subscribe. Again, the lads that have come on and kind of put the stupid comments in, I don't mind that. That's a bit of crack. Like so, Make sure you subscribe. If you want to come back next week and do the same thing, we don't care.
And don't forget to hit that bell in YouTube as well. I do hear the YouTube.
Yeah. So when you hit subscribe, make sure you hit the little bell because that gives you a notification.
Watch the podcast and touch your bell.
Yeah.
What is it,
that sounds like my dad trying to say something. Hey, don't forget. I don't know, guys.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Connor's come in. It's a cracking podcast, lads. Cheers, appreciate that. Lads, thanks for joining me this week.
Must have been listening to Joe Rogan at the same time, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, actually, yeah. We were told we'd be sent T-shirts by somebody.
Oh, sorry. I can't believe you're bringing this up.
I'm only joking.
I can't believe you're bringing this up. You're looking for this beautiful football bets for you T-shirt sent to me by FBC Customs 72.
Exactly, yeah.
He has told me that
Look at mine, just black.
He has told me that the T-shirts are on the way to Lawler and Paddy. Lawler being in England and Paddy obviously just being a giant.
Being in prison. It's hard to get through it.
He's baking it into a cake to bring into you, Paddy.
Yeah.
So one more from Connor. Hit the bell, stroke my bell. What to say? All the lads want to know why we're making them touch their bells. So Daniel Charles, why are you making me touch your bell? And they love the podcast, lads. Cheers, James. Lads, we're going to leave it at that. Water, thanks for coming on this week.
Thank you.
Lawler.
Cheers, lads.
Connor, cheers.
Nice one, lads. Yeah.
And Paddy, nice one.
Thanks, ring the bell.
Right, thanks for everyone for watching, and we'll see you again same time next week, 8:30. Good luck to everybody.